Growing old can be quiet, but it doesn't have to be lonely. If you're looking for meaningful things to do after 70, this video might open your heart. Have you ever sat alone in a quiet room and realized there's no one around anymore? No more footsteps. No more morning greetings. Your life partner has passed. Your children are grown, each living far away. Life continues, but it feels like you're standing on the sidelines, watching it pass by slowly and silently. Some afternoons, just a soft breeze through the porch can stir a deep ache. Some nights, a wide bed becomes an endless emptiness. Old age doesn't arrive all at once. It comes little by little, in the thoughtful gaze, in the slower steps, in the longing for those who have passed, and for those still living but no longer nearby. But you know, the Buddha once said, suffering doesn't arise from circumstances. It arises from the mind resisting those circumstances. Loneliness doesn't kill us, but resisting loneliness, that is what wears us down. So if there's no one left by your side, what will you do? How do we live so that old age isn't just a time of waiting? That's what I invite you to reflect on today, through a simple story that might just change how you see the rest of your life, and the 12 things you can do after 70 to no longer feel lonely. When David's wife passed away, he didn't just lose a partner. He lost an entire rhythm of life. The dinners with someone waiting, the soft laughter from the kitchen, the casual evening chats about nothing at all. The house remained the same, but it no longer felt like home. His 2 children were grown, one living in New York, the other nearly 6 hours away. They still called, still sent photos of the grandkids, but presence, the one thing his heart longed for most, was missing. David didn't blame anyone. He understood everyone has their own life, but even so, his heart would grow heavy in the quiet evenings, as the sun slowly faded and his shadow stretched long across the grass. One evening, a thought crossed his mind. If I were to collapse right now, would anyone know? That truth, though light as a whisper, landed like a heavy bell in his chest. Loneliness doesn't scream. It just sits quietly beside you, like a shadow. But the Buddha said, suffering doesn't come from the world, it comes from attachment in the mind. It's the mind that paints the feeling of being forgotten, abandoned, or unwanted. If in that moment you simply sit, breathe in and out, notice your mind clinging to something already gone, that loneliness will begin to soften. Because no emotion is permanent, only the mind that hasn't yet learned to let go. The only person who still visited David was Rose, his next-door neighbor, also a widow, who had lived alone for many years. She was kind and quiet, but she understood the silence of old age better than anyone. One afternoon, they sat under the porch roof, watching the red-gold sunset. No one spoke, until Rose softly said, I used to think I just needed to wait for my kids to visit, wait for time to pass. But no, loneliness can quietly kill you. We have to act, David. Her voice wasn't loud or dramatic, but it struck like a bell of awakening. Suddenly, David felt an emptiness swell inside, not because anyone left him behind, but because he had stopped moving while life kept flowing forward. The Buddha once taught, be your own island, your own refuge. No one can carry your life for you. And no one can steal your chance at a meaningful life, unless you give it up yourself. That night, David took out a pen and paper. For the first time in years, he made a new life plan sub-end. Not one that revolved around whether his kids would visit, but one that asked, if they don't, how can I still live fully? From that moment on, David realized, to change your life, you must start with small things. Instead of staying quiet at home, he tried something new. First, a gentle yoga class for seniors at the community center. His body wasn't as flexible, but every slow movement helped him feel alive, truly alive, in each breath and motion. He joined a book club at the local library. Each week, a few seniors gathered to read and share their thoughts. And in stories that once felt distant, David found pieces of his own soul. But the deepest shift came when he began practicing mindfulness meditation. At first, it was hard. Sitting still, doing nothing, thinking nothing, sounded simple, but inside, his mind was noisy. Then he remembered the Buddha's words from the Satipatth Sutta. Observe the body in the body, feelings in the feelings, mind in the mind, and phenomena in phenomena. So he just sat, breathing in, knowing he was breathing in, breathing out, knowing he was breathing out. Sad memories surfaced. He didn't resist them. He simply watched them float by, like white clouds across the sky. And in that silence, his heart slowly softened. One day, at the book club, he met Maria, a woman around his age, also living alone after losing her husband. They didn't rush to name the relationship. They just shared breakfast, went grocery shopping together, and listened to classical music each afternoon. No grand love declarations, just true presence for one another. And for David, that presence felt like a small miracle, proof that old age could still be as gentle as a morning breeze. But life is never a straight road. After several peaceful months together, one morning Maria slipped and fell on her front steps. David rushed her to the hospital. After careful evaluation, the doctor said that due to her age and fragile bones, Maria would need long-term care in a nursing facility to recover safely. The fall didn't just hurt her body, it woke something in David he had avoided thinking about: separation. He drove her to the care home in the suburbs. They didn't talk much on the way. She placed her hand gently on his, and he held it, lightly, firmly. At the door, Maria tried to smile. But in her eyes, he saw worry. For herself and for David, her companion, who she didn't want to leave behind. David smiled back, though his heart crumpled like dry leaves. You need to rest and be cared for. This is good, and I'll be okay, I promise. He held her hand one last time, and then turned to go. On the way home, he felt hollow, like a part of his light had been carried away. Back at home, everything felt different. The chair she sat in, her favorite tea, the soft laughter that once warmed the afternoons now lived only in memory. But David remembered the Buddha's words. Everyone must walk their path alone. Everything we love, we will someday part with. The only thing that remains is how we loved when we were together. And he gently reminded himself, don't cling, don't resent, just be grateful for the chance to have loved, because in this impermanent world, loving kindness is the one gift that never fades. After Maria moved into the care home, David returned to his familiar house, now truly alone. No more soft slippers in the kitchen, no more classical music each afternoon. But this time, he didn't allow himself to fall into darkness. Not because the sadness was gone, but because he had learned how to live with it. Like an old friend who no longer hurts, but gently reminds. He picked up journaling again, but now, instead of sorrowful entries, he wrote about small kindnesses. A new flower blooming in the garden, a warm smile from the bread seller, a kind glance from a stranger. He also began writing letters to his grandchildren, short stories, little jokes, or heartfelt thoughts from his aging heart. Each envelope he mailed felt like a quiet bird flying out to keep him connected to life. Most meaningfully, he started visiting other elderly neighbors who lived alone. He'd bring some fruit, a warm drink, or simply sit beside them and listen. Through acts of compassion, David turned his loneliness into connection. The sadness didn't disappear, but it no longer suffocated him. It became a soft fuel that made his heart gentler. One afternoon, walking through the community center's courtyard, David saw a newly arrived elderly man, his eyes lost and sad, just like David's once were. David approached and smiled. Friend, I know that feeling. Want to take a walk together? That moment was an act of fearless giving. As the Buddha described, giving someone the gift of no longer feeling afraid to live alone. And it was in that moment that David realized he was growing, not in age, but in compassion. After all the loss, the change, and the ups and downs, David finally understood a deep truth. Happiness in old age doesn't depend on whether your children visit or who's still around. It lies in this: each passing day, are you truly connected? Are you caring for yourself? Are you opening your heart to life just a little more? Because as everything around us fades, homes, possessions, even loved ones, the only one who walks with you until the very end is you. David no longer wished for life to be like before. He learned to be grateful for the present, however quiet, however simple. Each morning, he sat still for a few minutes, breathing mindfully, smiling to himself. I still have one more day to live with kindness. He remembered the Buddha's verse in the Dhammapada: by oneself is evil done, by oneself is one defiled, by oneself is evil left undone, by oneself is one purified. Purity and impurity depend on oneself. No one can purify another. Old age is no longer a time of waiting to die, but a precious season to refine the heart, to look back on life not with regret, but with deep understanding. The people you loved may have gone, but the love you gave still lives in their hearts. And within you still remain all the seeds of goodness you've ever sown. In that space, loneliness is no longer a punishment. It becomes the fertile ground where compassion and wisdom begin to bloom. Old age, when lived rightly, is not withering. It is the ripening of a life fully lived. 12 things to do after 70 so you no longer feel lonely. To live healthy, mindful, and peacefully with yourself. 1. Prioritize daily care for both body and mind. To live with peace and clarity in your senior years, you must care for your body and mind every day. When we're young, we take health for granted, but as we age, every step, every breath, every little cough reminds us how fragile life truly is. But being healthy doesn't just mean avoiding illness. It means having enough strength to live each day fully, both physically and emotionally. A healthy body lets you move confidently, without relying on others. You can brew your own tea, go to the market, care for yourself. That is freedom in old age. A healthy mind keeps you from drowning in loneliness. Sadness isn't the real danger. Letting it take over your thoughts is. You don't need to train like an athlete. Just keep a gentle routine every day. Take slow walks around the park or your yard. Practice light yoga or stretching. Massage your hands and take deep breaths each morning. Most importantly, practice mindfulness meditation. Sit still for a few minutes each day. Watch your breath, in and out. Notice your feelings and let them pass like clouds. That's how you come home to yourself, a place no one can ever take from you. The Buddha once said, "The mind leads all things. When the mind is calm, all else feels lighter." Take care of your body for vitality. Nurture your mind for wisdom and peace. Old age is never too late if you begin today to care for yourself. 2. Accept reality. Don't deny loneliness. Loneliness is not wrong. It's not shameful. It's simply part of growing old. Many older people hide their loneliness. They say, "I'm used to it. I'm fine." But deep down, there's a quiet emptiness they rarely name. And it's the denial of loneliness, not loneliness itself, that wears us down. In Buddhism, the Buddha never taught us to run from feelings. He taught us to observe them with compassion, like a mother holding her crying child. No judgment, no rejection. When seen through mindfulness, loneliness is no longer an enemy. It becomes an old friend, reminding us to return inward, tend to our hearts, and learn how to live in the fullness of the present. Try this. Sit quietly for a few minutes each day. When sadness arises, don't resist. Don't run. Just breathe in, knowing you are sad. Breathe out, knowing you are still alive. Still here, still able to listen to your heart. Acceptance is the beginning of healing. No light can enter a room if the door is shut. Open the door to loneliness, and you may find, waiting behind it, is a gentle peace. 3. Create a clear and proactive financial plan. Taking care of yourself is one of the most profound expressions of love. As we age and lose our ability to work, the hardest part isn't always a lack of money. It's the sense of helplessness and dependence on others. A clear financial plan helps you avoid feeling powerless during illness, income loss, or unexpected challenges. More importantly, it preserves your self-respect and autonomy and asks two essentials for peace in your later years. Start with practical steps. Calculate your monthly living expenses. Set aside an emergency fund for medical care, assisted living, or a caregiver. If possible, prepare a will and organize your assets clearly. The Buddha said, "Wealth is not about how much you have, but about knowing what is enough." So you don't need a fortune, just enough, and a clear plan, so you don't have to worry every day. Being able to care for yourself is a quiet gift you offer your loved ones, so they don't carry the burden for you, and you can live with steady, grounded peace. 4. Reconnect with the community around you. No one is born to live alone, but to feel connected, we must take the first step. Loneliness becomes scary only when we shut ourselves off, circling the same four walls, the same old chair, and the same old thoughts. But out there are others just like you, growing older, facing loss, feeling left behind, and many are waiting for someone to say hello first. Start small. Join a morning Tai Chi or movement class. Attend a book club at your local library. Share a few words with someone in the park. You don't need instant closeness. Just being present together, sharing a smile, listening, is enough to break the wall of silence. The Buddha said, "Meeting someone who truly listens is already a blessing." Every connection is like a seed. With sincerity and care, it will blossom even when you think it's too late. Old age is not isolation. It's an invitation to connect more deeply, not for gain, but for human warmth. 5. Simplify and safeguard your living space. A tidy, gentle home is also a form of meditation. Your physical space mirrors your inner world. If your home is cluttered, dark, or difficult to navigate, your mind may also feel heavy and restless. Aging is the time to let go, not accumulate more. Take time to thoughtfully declutter. Remove items you no longer use. Install safety rails in the bathroom and stairs. Keep walkways clear, bright, and open. This not only makes your home safer and more comfortable, but it also lightens your mind and uplifts your spirit. Living simply is a way of releasing the past. Every item you let go of is a memory you've learned to make peace with. The Buddha taught, a traveler should carry only what's needed. The more you carry, the more you tire. Keep what truly matters. Decluttering your space is also decluttering your soul, helping you dwell fully in the present, free from the weight of what was. 6. Be open to new friendship or late-life companionship. There is no age too late to feel the warmth of another's hand. Many, after losing a spouse or spending years alone, come to believe that love, or even real friendship, is a thing of the past. But the heart doesn't grow old. Only fear makes us close it off. You don't need to find your other half. Sometimes, someone to share breakfast with, shop for groceries with, or sit quietly beside in the afternoon is already a miracle. If you meet someone who eases your heart, allow yourself to draw near, not to replace the past, but to fully embrace the present. The Buddha said, "True love is without attachment, without possession. It is metta, loving, kindness." Love in old age may not be fiery or loud, but it is steady, gentle, and deeply real. Like the evening sun, no longer blazing, but still warm enough to soothe a lonely day. Open your heart, not because you're lacking, but because you still have the capacity to feel, to care, to connect. 7. Initiate conversations. Don't wait for others to call. A simple phone call can save a long, quiet day. In old age, we often slip into a quiet habit, waiting for others to remember us. Waiting for a message from our children, a call from a grandchild, a greeting from an old friend. And when none come, we grow more silent, retreating further inward. But just like plants need sunlight, relationships, old or new, need nurturing. Try making the first call. Reach out to a friend, your child, or a neighbor. Even a short exchange, a warm wish, or a morning hello can be a small light in a cloudy day. If you used to write letters, why not start again? A shaky, handwritten note may be warmer than 1,000 texts. The Buddha said, "A kind word can calm even the most troubled heart." You are not alone, as long as you're willing to reach out first. Be the one to plant the seed, and you'll see it nourishes you first. 8. Prepare end-of-life documents and wishes ahead of time. Doing this isn't about fearing death, but about living fully until the very end. Many shy away from the topic of death, thinking it's unlucky or too sad. But in truth, death is the most certain thing in life, and the least prepared for. Organizing your documents, last wishes, and end-of-life plans is not just a legal task. It's a reflection of your wisdom, love, and mindfulness. You can begin by writing out your healthcare preferences in case of serious illness, clearly outlining your wishes for your assets and final arrangements, choosing someone you trust to make decisions on your behalf. The Buddha taught, all conditioned things are impermanent. Contemplating death daily helps us live more fully. This is not for your children, it's for you, so you can complete your journey with peace and clarity. When you're ready, nothing can shake you, and your loved ones will be grateful for your deepest expression of love. 9. Consider a senior living community, if needed. Sometimes, having someone around each day is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Many elders fear the idea of moving into a care home, thinking it means abandonment, loneliness, or decline. But the truth is often the opposite if you choose the right place. A good senior living community offers more than just medical support. It offers peers, daily interactions, and a vibrant mental life. Think about this. If you fall in the middle of the night, who would know? If you feel unwell, who would make you tea or soup? In a care home, you live independently, but not alone. The Buddha said, knowing your body's condition and choosing the right environment, that is wisdom. Old age is not a time to struggle. It's a time to let yourself live gently. If a new setting brings you peace and comfort, don't hesitate to choose it. Because living each final day fully is your right. 10. Learn something new. Keep the mind alive. Old age is not the end of growth. It's a time to learn more deeply about yourself. When we're young, we learn to work, to earn, to prove ourselves. But in later life, learning is no longer about competing. It's about returning to who we are. Learn what makes your heart clearer, calmer, and wiser. Listen to Dharma talks by wise teachers. Read or chant sutras. Reflect on their deep meanings. Study a foreign language to expand your mind and access teachings in new ways. Or simply, learn to slow down, to let go. You don't have to prove anything. Just grow inward, even as the body slows down. Learning keeps your mind agile, your heart inspired, and your life full of meaning. If you learn meditation, the Dharma, and how to nurture loving kindness, you're preparing for a peaceful death and a stronger rebirth. The Buddha said, without cultivating the mind, living 100 years is merely existing. So learn something new each day and live as one who is still awakening, not just waiting. Old age, when guided by learning, is truly the golden season of wisdom. 11. Maintain the habit of going outside and being in nature. Nature says nothing, yet heals with its presence. On a day clouded by emotions, sometimes all you need is a ray of sunlight, a soft breeze, or the rustling of leaves to feel at ease again. We were born in nature, but as we age, many retreat indoors because the body aches, or no one's there to invite us out. But you don't need an invitation. You can invite yourself. Keep it simple. Sit under a tree each morning. Take a short walk around the block or in a nearby park. Pause to listen to birds or gaze at the sky. Every time you step outside, you refresh your lungs, your eyes, your skin, and your spirit. The Buddha meditated beneath the Bodhi tree, lived among the mountains, and embraced sunlight to nourish the soul. You don't need to climb a mountain. Just one moment each day to breathe with the earth is enough for a healthy heart. 12. Live with gratitude and turn inward. Gratitude is the gentlest way to bring peace to the heart, no matter what's outside. In old age, memories often shine clearer than the present. Many feel trapped in sorrow, grieving someone lost, regretting what wasn't, or carrying wounds that never quite healed. But if you only see what's gone, you'll miss what remains. Instead of replaying what hurt you, remember what made you smile. A kind friend, a family meal, a moment of being loved. All of it is still here, inside you, if you choose to see with gratitude. And when you sit quietly, follow your breath, and want nothing, you realize this moment is the greatest gift. The Buddha taught, one who knows contentment is truly rich. One who desires nothing is truly free. Each day, take a few moments to breathe mindfully, release expectations, and smile at yourself. Be grateful for what's left. It's the most precious part of your life. And it's your lightest baggage for whatever lies ahead. So we've journeyed through these 12 things. Small, simple acts that can transform how we live our final years. They are not lofty philosophies, but gentle practices, caring for your body and mind, reaching out to others, listening inward, living with gratitude in every breath. If something in this video made you feel seen, understood, or just a little warmer, then that's exactly why I created it. Old age is not the end. It is a profound season when we may live more slowly, but see more clearly. As the Buddha said, nothing belongs to us except the mind we've trained. If today you can still breathe in, breathe out, and sit quietly to listen to your heart, then you still possess the most precious gift, the present moment. Leave a message if you wish, a thought, a memory, or simply, I'm learning to grow old mindfully. I read every word you share. And who knows, your voice may warm someone else quietly walking this same road. See you in the next video. And if this feels like a space you'd like to stay with, hit subscribe. And let's continue this journey of living deeply, peacefully, and kindly together.